What's up, fans? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a retrospective slash review of the original 2014 Blu-ray release of Godzilla. Coming up right now. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Alright guys, quiet on set. Scene 1, take 1. Action. Boom! Now, if you guys like this video, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and also hit that bell for notifications because it helps the channel a lot. Notifications. Why did I say vacations? Also, before we get on with the video and retrospective with a little quick story, I keep forgetting on and on, but here's just a quick, finally an update on the Friday the 13th box set replacement disc. I got them in the mail and Shop Factory, man. I'm glad you guys listened right away and also just took action right away. Awesome, thank you guys. All right, so let's get on with the video. So here's a little story time. I mean, this is actually currently my favorite remake of all time. It's not as good as the original Japanese movie, but I still love Gareth Edwards' Godzilla 2014 movie. I will talk about it in the near future. And I was so hella excited when they announced the Blu-ray, and I was like, man, I was just getting excited. So I went there to Best Buy to pick it up day one, but also they had a cool little deal. They actually had a sale where if you buy a copy of Godzilla on Blu-ray or I believe DVD, you also get a paperback copy of the graphic novel Godzilla Awakening, which is apparently it's a prequel, an official prequel of the movie, and it is awesome. So that's my little retrospective on the Blu-ray of the little story time, how I got it. And now let's get on to the actual video review. Now let's look back at that Blu-ray. The film was shot with RELX Plus digital cameras. The aspect ratio here is displayed as 240 by 1, but I believe it's 239 by 1, but it's just, I think they just put that there so they don't have to confuse people. The film has a 2K DI, so the film, aside from being shot in digital cameras, it was actually finished at a 2K digital intermediate. And the Blu-ray itself includes DTS HD Master Audio 7.1 surround sound mix. Now let's get on to the video. So this is actually gonna be complicated to talk about. At first, I thought it was perfect video quality because, and then again, I've seen the movie only in 3D and once in theaters when I saw it because I never got the chance or had the time to go back to movie theaters at the time. But when I bought the Blu-ray and I watched it, I'm like, it just looks just as good as I remember in the theaters. But I'd be lying if deep down I'm like, this movie looks too dark than I remembered. So let's just get out with some of the positives. One of the positives, of course, is the picture quality is still crystal clear. It is razor sharp. I also love how this is little thin artificial grain layer on it, and just to make it look more like a film itself, and it is awesome. I believe he did it with Rogue One, but still, it was amazing. They did it with Kong, and they also did it with Godzilla King of the Monsters, and here, it's just awesome. I actually thought that, because there was actually a moment where there was a tiny little white speck during Ford Brody's and the nuclear power plant scene. I actually thought it was shot on film, but no, it was digital cameras, and I believe they just added this artificial grain layer of it. Or I believe it was noise from the digital cameras, because they still produce some grain and noise on it. But it looks great, and also it is still razor sharp, and in so many ways it's a sharp, crystal clear picture. Unfortunately, some of that crystal clear picture is a bit obscured by the dark filter they put on this movie, which, why? I remember in the movie theater, I remember especially on the final battle, the Battle of San Francisco, I remember that film had fiery red, orange, red colors around, and the colors were vibrant as hell. It had some blue hues, and Godzilla stood out. But here it just looks basically muted orange look and like a light yellow orange look to it, especially on the explosions and fire scenes. And I'm like, what happened? Especially the iconic scene with Godzilla just building up his atomic breath and he just blasts it. And I remember looking and I'm like, this is not as bright as I saw it in the theaters. And I remember the Golden Gate Bridge scene. It was more brighter in the theaters. It actually felt like the colors actually felt like you're outside during a rainstorm. And here it just looks hella dark. I'm like, what is this, a tornado is gonna hit? And the Philippine scenes, I remember again, the mountains had lush green trees and bushes, and here it just looks so muted. And I get it, the muted look, even the movie in the theaters, it looked muted too, but then again, it wasn't overly muted when it comes to colors and detail. It didn't have overly crushed blacks in some areas. I still remember vibrant colors and with a muted tone look filter to it. The film is supposed to have this muted look because it is a dark reboot of the franchise, and it is intended with the tone, but I believe Gareth did not intend the film to look this dark. I believe something happened within the post-production phase of the home video release. They just put in this dark filter or whatever, or something happened, and then they just plopped it on the Blu-ray, and it just, you get crystal clear picture and all that stuff, and nice little thin layer of grain, but fake grain, but a lot of it is obscured by the dark filter to it. And my cute little dog is barking in the background if you can hear him. But overall, some colors still there, especially during the Halo jump scene. A lot of the flares, the red flares, they just pop out of the screen, and it's really nice. Aside, yeah, so overall, aside from great picture quality, honestly, it is, looking back, it's flawed. At first I loved it, I thought it was perfect, but now, yeah, looking back, it's just too dark. And it's a shame that a lot of people think this movie's dark, because a lot of people didn't, I know there's some people that didn't see it in the movie theaters, and when they watched the home video release for the first time, they assume that this movie looks so dark, and I'm like, oh wow, look, another reason why the movie sucks is because it's so dark. And I know for a fact that is not the intended look, because in the special features, the film looks not only brighter, but more vibrant looking. So, I don't know what happened. Who knows what happened? All right, let's get on to the audio. So this Blu-ray disc has a 7.1 DTS HD Master Audio Surround Sound, and boy, oh boy, is it demo worthy. At the time, it was demo worthy, actually. This is back then when Blu-rays did not have Dolby Atmos, and again, then the honor went to Transformers Age of Extinction. But for what we got, it is awesome. And also, this film was mixed in Dolby Atmos, so that is the original audio. So they just down mixed it and folded it to a 7.1 DTS HD Master Audio mix. But still, it sounds amazing, especially around the climax of the film, Battle of San Francisco. Again, you hear the destruction around you. Godzilla, when he roars, when he's about to fight the female Muto, he really overpowers your speakers and your room. Heavy basses around, especially around the explosions. Even the explosion from far away, boom, boom, boom. In Hawaii, there's a shots where there's explosions around in the distance, and the bass just picks that up. It's just so cool. And the scene where Godzilla, you see his spines, and he's just creating a tsunami wave. It actually feels like there's a tsunami hitting you, and that is so freaking awesome. And dialogue is crystal clear too. What more can I say? A lot of people talked about the amazing audio that the Blu-ray has, and it is something to, at the time, to show off your home theater system to. Especially when Godzilla does the atomic breath, it just builds to this little, again, it builds up to this nice bass, and it goes, you feel it, and then when he blasts it, it actually feels like he's blasting right in front of you. Hopefully the Dolby Atmos mix expands on that and actually adds more on the source. Well, it is the original audio mix. The mix is just, in my opinion, perfect for it is, until probably the Dolby Atmos mix comes in. I've heard that there's some audio clips issues on the mix. I have yet to hear those. I have to rewatch the disc again, but so far I've never had an issue like that. So hopefully I don't encounter. If not, then well, I'm not gonna really knock it down that much. But yeah, perfect audio. This is no problem with that. All right, down to special features. Wow, this was released at a time when even to this very day, modern movies don't get a lot of special features on home video. On Blu-ray or DVD, you just get like 30 minutes of special features. And here they give you an hour worth of bonus features with some nice Monarch declassified documentary, like mockumentaries actually, on the Mutos, getting introduced to Monarch, and a little Godzilla mockumentary, and it's so cool. And then we get onto the legendary Godzilla. So here's a cool little thing. If you watch these special features back to back, it actually feels like a 40-minute documentary. And I believe it is a documentary, it's just that they just split it into 4 parts, but they didn't add the play all function. But there's Godzilla Force of Nature, Into the Void, the Halo Jump. I believe it's called, there's another one called Godzilla Whole New Level of Destruction, which is freaking awesome. How they talk about, they do a lot of rotoscope in this film, so a lot of the effects are practical effects. Yeah, the movie's CGI heavy, but there's a lot of moments where there's practical effects in front of your face, like on-screen location shooting. And more movies should do that, honestly. Also, I think this is a feature called Create an Ancient Enemy, the Mutos, which they talk about creating the Mutos, and also they talk about how they create the sounds, which is an amazing callback to the original Godzilla movie where they created this roar out of a strong, big, heavy bass stringed instrument, and they just took the gloves and rubbed it around, and they just mixed it into a nice roar. And I wish they talked about, I know they discussed creating Godzilla's design and stuff like that, and how they wanted to bring the icon into a modern era, but they barely talked about his roar. I know it's on YouTube, whatever, but I wish they talked about how they created this new roar. I know in the Godzilla Rebirth of an Icon documentary that's on the Target exclusive, it discusses that, but it's actually what I've heard is that they took a couple of these special features or 2 featurettes from this standard edition Blu-ray, and they just put it on there, and they just slapped in how they created Godzilla roar. That's from what I've heard. So I've heard people, I really want to see it, but a lot of people tell me that you're not really missing much. So yeah, so overall, it's a damn good package, but the problem is that it doesn't feel complete. I wish we got deleted scenes, because we all know there's a lot of deleted scenes that were cut out, and an audio commentary track by Gareth, because man, he's so good at making commentary tracks. And also the watch along of the Monsterverse last year, that guy's so fun to listen to. He actually cares about filmmaking, and it sucks that we don't get a commentary track here. And also, it sucks that the 4K version is not gonna have that either. What a wasted opportunity though, but still, I mean, what can you do? This commentary track on his first film, Monsters, it's phenomenal. And also, it sucks that he didn't do Rogue One commentary either, but what can you do? Maybe he doesn't do commentary tracks anymore, like Steven Spielberg. Then again, Steven Spielberg never did commentary tracks. He said he doesn't like doing that, so that's a shame. So if I were to give the video a rating, I have to give it an 8 out of 10. If I were to give it a 10 out of 10, I would have given it a 10 out of 10 if it weren't for that dark filter that's on it. So yeah, hopefully the 4K version not only helps elevate that stuff, but also the HDR will also bring up the colors and stuff like that. Give us true blacks and whites rather than crushed blacks and gray whites. You know, for the audio, I had to give it a 10 out of 10. Yeah, it's not the original Dolby Atmos mix, but it's still a phenomenal mix. Special features, I'll give it 8 out of 10. I would give it a 6 out of 10 due to no deleted scenes and audio commentary track, because we all know a lot of stuff went down behind the scenes. But yeah, for what it is, it's still an amazing package. Really, I gotta give Warner Bros. Credit for at least giving us an hour worth of special features. And it seems that studios have listened to that now that Marvel has mostly an hour worth of special features on their releases, and also the Predator advertised as 1 hour special features, which, okay. So that is my retrospective and review on Godzilla 2014 Blu-ray, the original Blu-ray. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you guys so much for watching my video. So quick question, do you guys have the 2014 Blu-ray, and what do you guys think about it? Let me know down in the comment section down below, and please let me know. I want to hear on your opinions on that. So this is Javi from Javi Production, signing off, and hope you guys enjoyed the show.